Hi everyone, it's Sabrina Fox. I am back with another installment of the Fox Legal Training High Yield Bond Mind Map Analysis. As I said on the last mind map video, we are going to use the mind map as a way of simplifying your high yield bond analysis and also to systemize it, because I think there's some real power behind having a standard way that you approach deals, and that is what I'm going to help you to do. I'm going to share my screen and show you the entire mind map, which as you can see is quite comprehensive. But what we're going to focus on today is specifically the security and guarantees section of the mind map. Just up here, I'm going to orient the screen so you can see it. So we're going to look specifically at collateral, whether it's hard or soft, what jurisdictional issues there might be, and whether it's changed since the last deal. I'm going to focus just on that for today. I'm going to leave the guarantees and restricted group points to another day. So the first deal that we're going to start with, and let me just share my whole screen here with you. There we go, is the monkey business case study, which is what we always use for these videos, but I'm also going to show you something in Stonegate which came up this week that I thought was quite interesting and is relevant to the point. So as you can see in the table of contents, capital structure and credit support comes first. That is because I think after redemption, this is where you should start. It gives you a point A when you think about point A being where you start off in a deal, what your credit support is, what your guarantor coverage is, where you sit in the capital structure, as compared to point B, which is where you could end up, and you understand that after you do the debt and liens analysis. So point A is where we're orienting ourselves today, and we're specifically going to look at the collateral. So there's lots of disclosure on the collateral that you can look to. All the smaller numbers are summary disclosure, and all of the larger numbers are more in-depth disclosure. And then I also have disclosure on the risk factors section, which is pertinent to guarantees, and we'll look at in the next video. But I want to point out that risk factors are a huge treasure trove for information about these deals, particularly where the bodies are varied, because from the high yield bond offering disclosure perspective, when I was advising clients back in the baby lawyer days, the idea would be that you put everything in there as your sort of insurance policy. You don't want anybody to find something out which is material after the fact. So that is going to have loads of really valuable information, and it's in plain English, not legalese. So it makes it a lot easier to understand. So why don't we just go directly to the secured notes collateral. So the collateral, what we're looking for here, very simply, is whether it's hard or soft. Now, hard or soft, that just question itself is asking, is it collateral that is an actual thing? Is it intellectual property? Is it property, plant, and equipment? Is it mortgages over real property or inventory, etc.? That's kind of what we would be looking for. Now, the specific provision that I've gone to here, sorry, is not actually where I wanted to go. But if you wanted to get a list of the collateral here, you can get that just at the beginning of the OM. And this is pretty much a copy paste from what's in the description of notes, which is pretty great. But when you look at the language here, you can see that this is really more soft collateral. So soft collateral are things like shares, intercompany loans, bank accounts, receivables within the group. All of those things I call soft collateral. Is kind of structural. It's what holds the whole structure together. So if you're a lender, that's what you're going to look to if you're going to take the keys to the company, because the company, hasn't made good on its promise to repay. So you're going to take them to court. You're going to enforce a share pledge, and then effectively you own the company. So that's valuable to a point. But when you think about what else the company might own, you want to really orient yourself in sort of three buckets of assets. So the first bucket is what's in your collateral. And the second bucket is what of the company's assets have been pledged to other lenders. And the critical third bucket that you really want to understand is what else is left over. And again, this is going to inform your liens analysis when you get there, because you need to know how much potential asset pool is available to other lenders that the company might be able to pledge. This could be something that could get them out of a tight spot in the future if they need to bring in fresh capital to the capital structure. So it's definitely a question that you want to be asking. Now, I call all of this pretty much soft collateral. And there is also See, when these words like debenture and, you know, intercompany loans and receivables, there is, yeah, and also floating charge. So the 2 points here that could potentially be hard collateral are the security over substantially all of post-closing guarantors' personal assets and the post-closing guarantors in England and Wales providing a floating charge. So there could be some hard collateral in there, which is a bonus because that's less that the borrower could potentially pledge in favor of other lenders, and it's more which is pledged in favor of your obligations. Now, I wanted to also point out in the recent deal from Stonegate, this issue here, has it changed since the last deal? This is a very important question to ask, because in this like this world where we're getting lots of repeat issuers, you're getting lots of issuers coming to market that are refinancing their existing deal, and you want to know, am I getting as good a deal as last time? Am I getting a better deal, a worse deal? We'd love to get a better deal. Oftentimes you might find that the deal is a little bit less attractive. And one of the very key points you want to look at when you run one of these black lines, which is very easy to do with standard, desktop word processing software, is you want to look at what changes have been made compared to the collateral last time. And something I picked up in Stonegate, that there's actually no mortgages compared to the previous deal. So in the previous deal, just move that little purple box out of the way, you had first legal mortgages over freehold property in England and Wales vested in the issuer and guarantors. Okay, that's great. That's a valuable piece of collateral. But as you can see, it's crossed out. So this time, the deal did not provide that same security. So if I were a lender coming into this deal, I would want to know why, and I would calculate that into whether my overall risk or reward is being compensated sufficiently vis-a-vis the previous deal. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to point out on this one. I don't think there is. So that is where we're looking. And jurisdictional issues, like I said, there is typically a lot in the risk factors. So I'll just touch on this very briefly. But if you go into the risk factors, and we have risk factors here for guarantees, but often if there are serious jurisdictional issues relating to the borrower's ability to, or the lender's ability to enforce on their collateral, it will be in risks relating to the notes. So it will be set out here. So it's just something to bear in mind, and because it is written in plain English, it's actually really handy. And that is all we're going to cover for today. I don't want to overwhelm everybody. I have, since the last video, had a lot of requests for the mind map. I would like to let you all know that I am going to be posting it for distribution. I just need to make a few more tweaks because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I want to make sure that it is absolutely perfect for everyone. So watch this space, and probably when we go through it, I'll make other additions to it as well. But I hope you found this to be useful. Again, capital structure and credit support, looking at the value of your collateral. Is it hard? Is it soft? Are there any major jurisdictional issues? And has it changed materially since the last deal? And how much do you care about that? And don't forget about the 3 buckets of assets when you're doing the analysis on the borrower's assets, and to what extent it's possible that you might get primed in the future with other lenders coming in to take some of those assets in the 3rd bucket that I described. So I trust you found that helpful. I look forward to engaging with you on these topics. Feel free to get in touch anytime. Sabrina at foxlegaltraining.com, and I will see you for the next mind map video, which I hope to publish in just a couple days' time. Thanks, everyone.